Welcome to Cinema Snacks.
Hello and welcome back to Cinema Snacks, a completely serious podcast where we weren't just laughing about someone taking a dump in a cemetery. Anyway.
Don't worry, you don't need context for that or anything.
No. Just reliving life memories. No. Oh, what a wonderful start. I accidentally closed the first thing I needed. So, today we are going to talk about the first Guardians of the Galaxy film. And let's get the little bits out of the way. Gross budget was $232 million. It made $773 million at the box office. My geeky comic fact is the Guardians in this are not the original Guardians, but they are in Annihilation Conquest, issue 6. It's their first appearance to this iteration of the Guardians. There we go.
Hi, I'm Jobe.
Oh yeah, Jobe's here as well. He was just mourning in the cemetery.
And Scott's still unwell. But just for context, off screen we're just talking about a really bad old joke. And we spent about 5 minutes trying to stop laughing before pressing record.
Yes.
I don't think we were successful at that.
No, not at all.
But there we go. 'Tis life.
So no, you go.
So, because my schedule has been very off this week, I managed to watch this earlier this morning. It's been a while since I saw this. I do always like to add if I've seen it in the cinema or saw it on DVD first. I do believe I saw this in the cinema first. And once again, this is one of those films that I'm glad I saw it in theatres first. Because some films you can just wait for DVD. And first of all, very strong opening. Very, very sad opening.
My first note is this is very different to any of the openings we've seen before.
Yes, it pretty much starts out with a very short origin story, functionally. Something very heavy hitting that does get called back to later. I first heard the name James Gunn, or at least the first time I've heard it to memory, and wound up going, you know what? I think this man's onto something. And then going from that really harrowing scene at the beginning to Finn going out and did I say Finn?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Anyway, Star-Lord going up to some random ancient civilization and just dancing. And I put in my note, great tone shift, because you've gone from something very kind of heavy. Now you're seeing who you're assuming is the adult version of the child. And then you're seeing a lot of levity and kind of feeling of the retro with the fact he's got his cassette player. I had cassettes that never lasted 5 years. I don't know how he's managed to last 26.
Space technology. I'd imagine you can probably just get re-cleaned and rewound.
I mean, maybe.
And back in our day, everything was more indestructible as well.
I mean, we are the Nokia generation.
We are the millennials, apparently.
That's what they keep telling us.
But and weirdly, you took like the first paragraph of my notes away from me.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's good. It's glad to see there was synergy that we both thought. Like the opening of this, I remember seeing it in the cinema, and I remember thinking all those years ago when this came out, I was like, if this film does well, this is the path it's going to take. Like everything is going to be a Marvel film, but it's going to have its own genre because this is effectively sci-fi.
Yeah. Visually
different to anything else we've seen before.
Yeah, that's another thing I noticed as well, because the only other thing that was close to it was Thor, but then we're seeing more different dimensions rather than space and other planets. And in later films, they when with Quantumania.
Yeah.
In their micro universe, that felt just like space. So to me, that never really felt distinctive. Whilst this one, there is a tangible. It's not quite the right word, but there is a kind of atmospheric difference. You know, this is another planet rather than another dimension, like with Asgard, and with like not Heimdall, that's the person, and like some of the other realms.
Yeah,
you know their realms. They don't feel like other planets. Whilst this is a planet, this is a space station made out of the head of an old god.
Yeah.
And so you know you're in sci-fi, more hard sci-fi.
Oh yeah.
Rather than just science fantasy.
I liked it, sci-fi, and right in the first 5-10 minutes you know that the through line of this is heart and humour.
Yeah.
Every
and
time,
good music.
Yeah. Every time you're going to be like, oh, that's sweet, you're then going to laugh like 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
But he's like the opening's just like we said, it's wonderful. He kind of skips and dances through, gets the thing, then he gets arrested, and the great line from the trailer, he's like, "You might know me by another name." He's like Star-Lord, and then Djinn, that's how you say the actor's name, who's a great actor, never gets enough credit. Just wonderful in everything he's in. I just want to put it out there because I don't think he ever gets enough credit.
Yeah, he's good.
He turns to him and he's like, "You might know me as Star-Lord." Who? And you're like, that's what you want. He's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, because once again, here's the audience expectation that, it's kind of like with Pirates of the Caribbean, where it's oh yes, I've heard of you. You're the worst pirate I've ever heard of. But you've heard of me. Yeah. This is like I have no idea who you are. No idea, and that's a better comedic line in that regard.
So you see him trying to slow him down. He makes his escape. I think what's great, you see all this big escape. You see him flying around the ship, and then when he pulls out the atmosphere after telling Yondu he's not coming back, you just see. And I wrote down her name because I didn't want her to be forget. It's pronounced Berit.
Yes, I was actually going to write a note, and I'll write a note down later to remember her name.
Which is the first, because I had to write a thing where you do like a pronunciation guide for yourself.
Yeah. Phonetically.
That one too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a great start because it shows where Peter is. He's kind of just winging it. He's an outsider in the group with the Ravagers, and he's still trying to find his own path. Is he good? Is he bad? We're not quite sure at this point.
Yeah, I mean, for me, he's a very kind of, it's the lovable rogue. He's not exactly he's not a good guy, but he's not a bad person. Yeah, the con artist thief that everyone kind of, I said, he's the rogue.
And I like the way from this, like they set up who the characters are really quick. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
Like you cut to Ronin, you're going to see the big bad, and you see Gamora and
Nova.
You don't see Nova in that. There's Nova Corpse. Nova's a separate character.
That's why her name's Nova.
No, try again.
Damn. Come on.
All the time in the world.
Nova.
Neb.
No. Nebula. I'm dyslexic. I wrote Nova.
Bit of a difference.
Yeah, they are different characters and different astronomical phenomena.
So we're introduced to them. None of that's getting cut.
No.
So we're introduced to the next load of characters, which also helps with the plot.
Yeah. Rocket and Groot.
Well, Thanos wants Ronin to get the stone, and his two daughters, brackets, Nebula and Gamora, offer to go do it, and he asks for Gamora to go out, and it sets the tone early that he mentions, oh no, this comes up a bit later. So she then goes out to get it, and Star-Lord is trying to sell it.
Yeah.
And then he mentions what it is and who it was supposed to go to, and the guy won't touch it, and then we're introduced to our next two characters.
Yes, Rocket and Groot. Rocket, It is
a great Stan Lee cameo with him as well.
Yeah, it's just like,
Is that, who's this old guy speaking to?
Yeah. Actually, one thing I wanted to say that Ronin felt like, as he looked cool. I think his aesthetic looked great. Once again, going back to Thor, I feel like he was a stronger villain, because I feel like they were both on the same sort of level. But Ronin feels like such a stronger villain, more motivation, more personality, and he looked like he was from a music video by Behemoth, which I think is amazing. And
there you go. The more you know.
Exactly. Look up Behemoth; they're a really good death metal band. But I thought Luke was just really good, and how he talks to Thanos, because he has his agenda, and Thanos is like, he wouldn't be giving him the job if he was bad at it. But the fact that he doesn't realise that he's not a tool, but it's like, here's what our agreement is. It's like, nope, I'm all this powerful. I've got my own shit to do. You can go do one.
Ronin's like huge in the comics as well, so. What happens at the end is probably one of my only gripes with this film.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, like Ronin as a character's quality. And you kind of get like I said, you kind of get the comedy in the next scene where Yondu has set a bounty on Star-Lord.
Yep.
Gamora wants to get the part we think to help Ronin, but she's already planning the double crossing
to take it to the Nova Corps.
Yeah,
That's what I write down.
Star-Lord is
In it for himself.
Yeah, and he's become a bit infatuated with Gamora.
Yeah, personally, a bit quickly, in my opinion.
I know. See, that's the thing with Star-Lord. Is especially in this, he falls in love quickly because effectively he's trying to fill the hole left by his mother.
That is true. That is a fair point. Hence, we already got the woman at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I was watching, once again, similar to Thor, I was watching some of that thinking, that feels a bit... Surely you'd slow that down a bit, but you do make a good point.
Thank you very much. I have them occasionally. Not often, but occasionally. So we kind of see a comedy thing of like, originally Gamora slows Star-Lord down, then Groot gets the wrong one.
Yeah.
He's like, bag him up, and he's like, that's not even...
Learn genders.
Yeah. Which I admire Groot, because he doesn't see gender. I don't know what's so funny about that, Job.
The Woke Podcast.
Well, one of us is very liberal and the other one is Job.
This, for those who don't know, I go by they, them most of the time anyway, so...
I just go by Dan, this isn't a competition. So anyway, so this is like the third one we've recorded on the bounce, so you're going to notice this, and because we don't release in order, Scream we're probably going to have sounded quite delirious by the time we've got there.
Yes.
But anyway, enough about...
the behind-the-scenes content.
Yes, enough about how people identify. That's another podcast coming in the future.
Probably, yes.
One day, maybe.
Probably just be the next one at this rate. But anyway.
Yeah. They all trying to capture each other, backfires,
Yep, and they
Nova Corp appear.
They basically get arrested for disorder, which I think was just hilarious.
And I love what they do. It's like a really clever thing in the next scene. So instead of trying to over-explain the characters, as they're getting booked, they give a breakdown.
Yeah, which is fair because everyone knows who Gamora is, with the exception of Quill. So everyone knows who Gamora is and that she's connected to Thanos. And of course, Groot and Rocket already have a criminal record anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you said, it's a good breakdown, and narratively it makes sense as to why they're having that. They're not doing as you know, They're like, here's what's on their files.
And I'm going to share a little Rocket fact, which I remember hearing that made me laugh. So at this point, Bradley Cooper hadn't done a lot of voiceover, so he had a voice for Rocket. Apparently, when he went in at first, he was stooped down speaking into the microphone. And they was like, what are you doing? He's like, well, Rocket's small, so I'm trying to project up. And I was like, I know, but Rocket wouldn't be speaking up. He'd just be speaking.
Yeah.
He's like, that's for us to do. And he was like, oh, yeah. I get the trying to get in the character, but it's like, you missed the point there.
To be fair, that would be a very me thing to do. I'm like, I would. That's the sort of thing I'd do anyway. That's
a little tidbit of useless Dan knowledge stored away in the brain.
That's always fun.
Then we see the team, for the first time, start to bond when they're all put into their jumpsuits.
Yeah.
And you have the great thing of the Nathan Fillion small cameos you always get in James Gunn films. Mm-hmm. So he's the talking alien who's like, I'm going to do this to you, Star-Lord.
I didn't know that.
There you go. Useless knowledge all stored up in there. And you kind of see Groot stick his fingers up his nose. They basically lay claim to, like, look, we're the big boss here now.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get Star-Lord's ours. You're going to have to go through us.
Yeah.
And you see Drax for the first time in the shadows. I love the first appearance because it's a complete misdirect to the character.
Yeah, because even in when we were both really into, I'm getting back into comics, but even comic book conversation, the Guardians weren't really that big of a conversation.
They've been in and out of things,
and so therefore, when seeing him, at least for me, I'm like, well, I don't know who any of these characters. This is my first introduction to any of them, and I said it wasn't until a couple of years later to find out these aren't even the quote unquote original Guardians, and so seeing that, we're going in as comic book fans, at least the level we were at the time. We were just as blind as most of the audience was to a lot of the story.
I think I knew of Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Just through osmosis of reading comics.
And also at the same time, this was whenever there was a new film coming out for a particular character, they would then be introduced into other things. So when this film was coming out, I remembered I was reading Ms. Marvel, because she was Ms. Marvel at that point. They introduced the characters, and I'm like, oh wait, they're only here because the film's coming out soon. I guess that makes sense. And so I didn't. So when you see Drax, I'm like, oh, there's another thug there. This will be interesting. Think once again, I also, when I'm watching a film, I forget who's on the poster. Yeah. Because I'm watching the film, and as I said, ADHD, and so I forgot Drax is on the poster. So for me, watching that, I'm like, oh, okay, because I don't know who this person is, because as we've seen in more recent films, the poster can ruin a lot of surprises.
Yes, and also just as a movie, odd angles now is the thing of a poster.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. But yeah, so watching that is kind of like, on the rewatch, I'm like, oh, that's Drax. I forgot he's
he's great. I love Drax. Even in my notes, he literally just says "love Drax." He's like neurodivergent king because he's very literal in everything. Yeah,
and they just basically said he's a species who don't get metaphors, which is good. And it's this kind of
you get the first great quip in the scene, don't you? When like the prisoners, obviously daughter Thanos, they want to kill Gamora, and he's like, "No, she is mine. Like Ronan killed my family. I will deal with her." Yeah. And then like Star-Lord appears and he's like, he says to him like, "Look, don't do it. She's not the one you want." And then he's suddenly like,
first does the.
Yeah, he's like, "Why would I put a finger on my throat?" And
why would I drag my finger across his neck?
Rocket's like, they're very literal. He's like, so that went over his head. He's like, nothing would go over my head. My reflexes are too quick.
It's just like, okay, I like this.
But they you have the scene introduced him. It's great.
Yeah.
Quality, and then they start plotting their escape because they're not dumb. They know that Ronin and that ilk will come after them.
Yeah,
and it's just the great, like you see him plotting the thing, and he's like, "I need the leg, I need this, and
I need to make sure I've got this bit, which is over there, but we need to make sure." And you just got Groot, so all right, just walks over, just does it.
Here's half a conversation.
Yeah,
he's like, "Now, from when it does it, we haven't got long."
Yeah, so we've got to make sure we do that last.
And you just see him running around getting all the bits, and you got the great thing in the middle. He's like, "But it's my leg," and he's like, "I need it."
I need your leg.
So they eventually get all the bits, get into the control station, and you just see Star-Lord. He's like, "I got the leg," and he's just laughing. He's like,
"You got the leg?"
He's like, "I didn't need it." He's like, "I gave him 30,000 credits."
Wait, well, I just thought it'd be hilarious. I just thought it'd be funny. Like, what was the look on his face? He asked him for his leg. Was he hopping? It's like, that's just unnecessary.
And they escape, thankfully. Yep. But I like this next part because I had to rewatch it because I'm like, wait. Gamora shows early on that she has a soft spot for Peter at the very least because he gives her the orb and he's like, "Look, give me 10 minutes, otherwise just go," because he can't find his Walkman.
Yeah.
And so they're in the ship and she's like, "Wait," and they're like, "No, we've got the thing. Let's go." And he's like, "No, he's got the orb. We've got to wait for him. He hasn't got the orb. He's literally just went back for the Walkman." So she's delaying them because they've got no skin in the game if he comes back or not.
No, he had the orb.
I didn't think he did. I thought it was a misdirect. He'd already given it to her.
She opens the bag to prove it, and the bag's empty, and he's still got the orb. So they know he'd wait while she's getting the cassette player.
Oh, well, scrap everything I just said. But yeah, you see him get the tape player because it's like very sentimental.
Yeah, I mean, I put that down because obviously, you know, as a comedy line, it's like, oh, we went all that way for the Walkman, and you're like, well, actually, that's got the connection to his mum, and on the surface, it works as a good joke. But like, you know, how dare you touch my thing? That's my favourite thing. But that's the only connection he has to his mum, and so it makes sense. You know, it makes sense that he's done that.
And it ties Act 1 up in a very neat little bow, which I quite like. Everyone's introduced, it's paced well, then they're going to nowhere, the planet which was ahead of a former Celestial. And this is where it all starts, because the team's getting on too well and you need it to fall apart for you really to connect them.
Yeah, kind of like the beginning of the Darkest Hour.
Yeah, they're the team, but everyone's got their own thing. Like, Groot just seems like a nice guy who's just there because he likes Rocket.
Yeah. But
Drax wants to kill Ronin to avenge that. Peter just wants the money, wants a fresh start in life, same like Gamora.
Yeah, and Gamora wants a fresh start and also get rid of Thanos as well.
But so they kill a little bit of time trying to see the Collector, and you see Drax in the club with Rocket and Groot. You know, this is all going along swimmingly, and then it all just starts to slip. Like,
because
you find out Rocket's a sensitive soul.
Because that's when you find out, oh no, he's not an alien. He was, I mean, granted, you find out it's from Earth later, but it's like, oh no, he's not an alien race. He was an animal that was experimented on.
Yeah.
And because of that, anyone referring to him as an animal, he doesn't like, which, you know.
But Drax is very literal, so he doesn't mean it in the horrible way it's come across.
But yeah, because he also doesn't. But then he also, as far as he's concerned, he doesn't know that it's a problem either.
Yeah.
Because he apologises later.
Yeah.
But then you also then got Drax, who does. It's one of those things. You know, once again, you have a thing that happens in a film, and it's either this is happening because film, and we must have this happen, and something that makes sense in the context of the film. I fully believe that Drax would have just gone, right, I'm just going to call up the guy so I can kill him.
Yeah.
That feels like a thing he would do rather than a thing they've made him do for story.
And that is part of it fall apart because he's got no interest in the money. So the four go to speak to the Collector, who conveniently explains the Infinity Stones to them and the audience.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to them, Drax is annoyed. He just wants to fight Ronin.
Yeah, that's his only character drive.
So he tells them exactly where they are.
Yeah.
And this is when it all starts to go to pot because the Collector's assistant touches the stone because she hates working for him and sees what's happened to her sister. It explodes. By the time they've made it out of there, Ronin is there and Drax is getting what he wants, not realising he's put everyone's life in danger.
Yeah. And the fight with the fight with Drax and Ronin is brutal because Drax is just so much more powerful.
Yeah.
And it's like I said in the last with Captain America. Once again, you have an idea of power level.
Yeah.
And you've got your muscle, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, the muscle is nowhere near strong enough.
Yeah.
Against Ronan, and so it's kind of like this is all he wants, and he literally cannot do it, and there is no way he'll be able to, and he's lucky he survived.
So then you get second kind of main battle. They're trying to keep the stone away. Nebula has a vested interest because she wants to be Daddy's favourite girl. And it's not her fault. It's the way they've been brought up. They're trying to fight.
They are two. There are two characters who've been through physical and psychological abuse.
One has been through it slightly worse than the other.
Yeah, and she's the one that's most resentful and is the most quote unquote daddy pleasing because she's been through so much more.
And you see all the heroes fall. Like they kind of fight each other. Gamora goes out too far. Nebula destroys it, gets the orb to give to Ronin.
Yeah.
Rocket's like he feels for Peter because he sees what's happening.
Yeah.
And Peter makes the combination of a brave move for the good reasons, but he can't help but be a bit stupid slightly after the scene.
Yeah.
So Rocket goes back because he knows he can't help Peter because he's called the Ravagers to come find him.
Yeah.
And Groot just being Groot, he's found Drax, he drains his lungs.
Yeah, takes him out.
The orb is gone. Gamora and Star-Lord get pulled in by the Ravagers because they're pissed off with Star-Lord.
Yeah.
As you get to the end of the second act, you kind of see Groot and Rocket with Drax, and it's like, "This is all your fault," and he's like, "It is." He's like, "I didn't think."
Yeah, that was all of his thing.
And they're about to go their own way.
Yeah.
And then Groot's like, "I am Groot," and he's like, oh, "Fine." And he's like, "Look, you got me kicking dirt."
So one bit I'd like to bring up is the when they all sit down with they're now working with the Ravagers and they have to work out their plan. And it's a good plan, but they're kind of Star-Lord is trying to get them all motivated. But the one line that Rocket said, and it makes complete sense because we're not talking about people with powers either. These are mortal people, and it's just like, and he just says, "But Quill, you're asking us to die."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, because even if they succeed, because it's one of those things.
There's a fun part before that, though, isn't it? Because they go up to get them.
Yeah. And
just before that scene, he was like, "We come to rescue you." He's like, "So your plan was to blow us up to rescue us?" He's like, "Only if they said no." He's like, "You gave them a 5 count."
But yeah, it's that was. But then that's more like Rocket going, Sod it. Let's just. I think that just shows Rocket's more impulsive.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty good, and not necessarily think things through. But that sitting down scene when they're all just like, you know, even the concept of a noble sacrifice. Someone, I mean, a lot of them, they've all been through trauma, except for maybe Groot. But they've all been through trauma, and then go.
No, Groot suffers his own trauma. He's separated from his people.
Oh no, but then at that point in the story is what I mean.
Fair.
Yeah, you don't know what his story is outside of he's friends with Rocket, but then it's just like, even if we succeed, we can still die, and is it worth it if we're dead? And I always find that's kind of like a tricky. A heroic sacrifice is a very tricky thing to sell to someone who isn't naturally a quote unquote hero.
But in that scene, you have the heart moment, and then you've got like Groot's I'm Groot, and saying he's saying, and then Gamora's like, well, she's I fought against enemies. It'd be nice to
die amongst friends. And
then you see Drax stand up. He's like, you are a warrior. He's like, I would be glad to stand next to you in battle. And then you've got Rocket's like, fine. So they're all standing up.
You happy now? We're all standing.
Like a bunch of idiots.
And I did note that one down because I'm like, they're doing the bit of cliche, pointing it out, but without. It's not too on the nose. It's not too over the top. But yeah, I just like there is this kind of the trope of the thing. Also, just a random note here with the symbols of the Nova Force. I noticed their symbols look like the Brainiac symbol from Superman.
Fair enough.
Just another thing I just chucked in there, really.
As we work our way into Act 3, and you get the final battle, Peter delivers a message to the Nova Corps, which amuses me.
Yes.
Because John C. Reilly's thing is...
and I quote...
Yeah, that was it. And I quote is, no one's... I'm not 100% a dick. And he's like, what do you think? He's like, well, no one can truly be 100% a dick. I think we can trust him, and you get it's nice because you see, especially like for comic book fans, the Nova Corps are well known. So you see Nova Corps going all out to fight Ronin, who's now been infused with the power of that Infinity Stone, and they're trying to stop him destroying it because his race has a problem
with their race.
There's like destruction everywhere. You see him try to bring him down from the inside.
Really like the design of his ship as well, by the way, kind of like an eagle.
You see Nebula like isn't committed to anyone. She's like, this has gone south, I'm getting out. But you see as they crash the ship, you see Groot have a really sweet moment.
That's another favourite moment of mine when he's about to do his noble sacrifice and he's like, why are you doing this? You'll die. And he just says, we are Groot. And I was in the cinema wiping my face going, yes we are.
Well, it's like symbolic Groot as well, because only Rocket can hear him at the start, and it's a nod to the audience. You've come along with him so much, you actually understand what he means.
Yeah.
I think people think, oh, he's learned to speak human. It's like, no, it's it's your understand. That's your connection.
You know the context of what he's saying, and then it crashes. It is a miracle they survived, and I think it's cool. And then you just got like bits of wood all over the place. You've just got Rocket in pieces, and then you just have Ronan come out.
Oh, that's great.
Comes out, and he's about to literally put the hammer down, and then Quilter stands up. Starts dancing.
Child, things about to get easier. Come on, Gamora. No, I'll take it back.
And it's just like, and I'm just watching this, and I'm like, this is hilarious. I forgot how good this bit
Ronan's
was.
thing of reaction is like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm distracting you.
I'm distracting you, you shithead. And then
you see the power of friendship when you start to grab the stone.
I've literally put saved by the power of friendship.
But I like it because it's symbolic in the moment, but there's also a hint at the next film.
Yes.
So like they defeat Ronan, he gets destroyed. They're on good terms with Nova Corps. Everything gets wiped. You have the Rocket thing. He's like, but what happens if I want to steal something? He's like, that's a crime. But what if I want it more? He's like, it's still a crime.
Well, what if I rip out a man's spine?
Drax is one, and his arms only is like, that's like the worst kind. Oh, good to know.
Yeah, that's just murder. Also, one thing I thought was, so the name drop of Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought was quite a good way to do it, where you just have Ronan just kind of, behold your heroes, your Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
because his plan will destroy the galaxy. Maybe not necessarily the universe, but it's like, why should we care? It's like, because we live here. It's one of my other favourite lines.
And one of the closing things I like, and this is I think it's a thing of being a father. So he's given Yondu's come to collect the bounty from Quill, and he gives it to him, and he's like, just don't open it.
Yeah.
Yondu knows right there it's been switched, and it's a thing like, because you can tell it is like a father with a son. He knows what he's done. He absolutely knows. So he takes them off because he knows he's proud his son's going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because that's how he views Peter.
Yeah.
And it's then you get the cut scenes of them doing all their bit, and you see him open it, and he sees a little frog, and he's just smiling.
It was a troll.
Oh, troll!
It's a troll doll.
You see the troll, and I like the scene with the frog. I think it sticks in my brain because he's asking him something, and he's like, "Listen," he's going, "Oh, Lord, there's a guy speaking."
Yeah, he's like, I don't care what you have to say. I need this information. Yeah. And it's like...
But it's a great ending to the film as well. There's like, should we do something good, bad, or a bit of both? And it all looks up. A bit of both.
Yeah. Because as I said, they're not the anti-heroes, but they're the ragtag team. Yeah, they might rip someone off, but they're probably someone... They're like a Catwoman sort of character.
I would say this going forward. This is one of my favourite trilogies of all the films. Not my favourite, but story-wise...
I can see that.
So, I think there's nothing left to do but score the film, then.
Ooh, that's tricky. I mean, hold on 1 sec. Let me just ask Scott.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm going to go through Jobe's wallet. Jesus Christ. Why does he always let me pay for stuff? There's loads of money in here. Good God, there's a white £5. Oh, hello, Joe.
Oh, hello. Right. So, Scott told me that his score was...
Hi, guys. Calling from the Iron Lung. I'll be out soon, by the way. I'm nearly cured and I should be released soon. But I had to phone in my score for Guardians. Guardians 1 is obviously a classic movie. I knew nothing about the Guardians coming in. I wasn't sure what this was going to be. I didn't know any of the characters. I didn't know anything. I'm not a comic book guy, so I came into this fresh and I really loved it. I thought Star-Lord was really funny. Groot is amazing. Drax is hilarious. The only one I didn't really like was Zoe Saldana's character. I thought she was a little bit annoying, but by the end of the film, you kind of grow to love her. The music in it is fantastic, and the kind of quirky James Gunn. I'm not the biggest James Gunn fan. Like, for instance, the new Superman film was a little bit childish for me, but in this aspect, his sort of style, his sort of teenage style, for me, worked. So for me, Guardians is a solid... I'd say it's a solid 8 for me, Guardians. I think it's a great movie. I think it's really fun. There's a couple of bits that just don't really click for me, but overall, I would give Guardians an 8. It's a really good start for the Guardians, and it really makes you want to see more of them. And when you're bringing in new characters like this, who some people don't know, you have to kind of hit the ground running. And I think James Gunn did that. So for me, solid 8. See you soon, guys.
There we go. That's a fascinating Scott impression.
I know, right? Isn't it amazing? But my score. I'd probably give this like a solid 8. It's a film where I've cried several times throughout the film. I've cried during films. I'm not ashamed of that. But yeah, it's very emotionally driven. The jokes land. Every joke that's made lands. Nothing really. I don't think it fails at what it tries to do. I don't really think there's much to trim off.
No, it's very tight.
And because we're still talking about just short of 2 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it gives you. There's not really much fat on there, so I like the little cameos in with the collector.
Yeah.
I didn't give the number. I'll give it about an 8.
You did.
Oh,
you gave it an 8.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I give it a 9 because I just thoroughly enjoy it. It's one of them. It passed my watch test, whereby how many times I look at the time.
Yep, that's fair.
Tells me how much I like it. I think I only did it once. So, normally I try to think of something quite witty and stupid. Mostly stupid to say at the end.
Mostly, yes.
But I really got nothing for this one. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's a good palate cleanser after 2 very serious films.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd agree with that one.
So Jobe's going to read out the socials as he's frantically flicking through his phone.
If you do want to follow us on social media, you can follow us at cinema.snacks.pod on TikTok and Cinema Snacks on Instagram, where we post not just links to our podcast, but post videos and about short reviews. I've currently posted a couple on some silent films that are available to watch free on YouTube. Hopefully plan to do Metropolis at some point in the next few months. Only short videos and maybe some other bits too. Some nice animations I've seen recently as well on there.
There we go.
So and that's me.
Well, to end this, he's been Jobe. I am Dan.
Yep.
Goodbye.
See you later.